Let's unbox the Yottamaster Y7000 Pro. This is in the 4TB configuration. This is going to be your standard NVMe M.2 SSD with read speeds up to 7,000 megabytes per second. So really excited to see how this looks. Now on my right I have my PS5 Slim here because we're going to test this drive on my PS5 Slim. Now you might be wondering, how is that possible to use this on a PS5 Slim when it requires a heatsink? Now this does come in your standard format without the heatsink here, and what makes this Yottamaster more versatile is that they also give us a heatsink cover here so that you can actually put a heatsink in it, and now this will be converted to an NVMe SSD with the heatsink, so you can actually use it on your PS5 Slim or PS5, or you can put it straight to your motherboard. I'm gonna give this heatsink cover here. It comes in various pieces here. We got the snap-on cover. It's gonna give us 2 thermal pads, and here's the actual aluminum cover. Now I will note that this little snap-on cover here is not gonna fit the PS5 Slim's M.2 tray. So for this installation, I'm not gonna use this at all. What I am gonna use though is this aluminum cover here. We're gonna attach a thermal pad here, and we're gonna attach another thermal pad on the actual SSD itself. So first thing we wanna do here is we're gonna grab one of the thermal pads. Make sure we peel off both plastic pieces. Then you're gonna grab your aluminum cover here, and you're gonna attach this right on top. Or right inside, I should say. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna grab the Y7000 Pro. I'm just gonna apply it right over here. Grab the second thermal pad, of course removing the plastic pieces like I did earlier. All right, and just like that, we have some nice coverage here. Now normally, for any other installation, you could use a snap-on cover, but again, we're going to skip that step here. So we're gonna grab the PS5 Slim here. We're going to open up the top portion where the M.2 tray is at. Grab a Phillips screwdriver here, and we're going to open this up. And using the same screwdriver here, we're going to just lift this up. All right, and here is the actual installation tray here, and you can see this is where the M.2 socket is going to be at. We also have a spacer and screw that we have to take off, and we have to move it in this circle over here. Same thing, Phillips screwdriver. I'm gonna grab the spacer portion. We're gonna put it right on this hole right here. Now when you put in the aluminum cover here, you want to make sure that this little screw mounts hole over here kind of shows up here, and you should be perfectly fine. All right, then we're going to screw it in place. All right, and this is how it should look. It's nice and screwed in with this spacer here, and now we have the 4TB installed. All right, now that I have the PS5 connected to my portable monitor here, I'm going to power it on. Now, once I power it on, it should automatically detect the Yottamaster 4TB drive, so it can be formatted for some awesome gaming. All right, and as you can see here, we have the M.2 SSD storage page here, and all we have to do here is make sure we click on Format M.2 SSD, and this will format it specifically for the PS5. Alright, as you can see, once it gets formatted here, it does give us a nice read speed here, and we have 6,965 megabytes per second. This is awesome. We're getting pretty much very close to the advertised speeds of the Y7000 Pro. Now all we have to do here is hit OK, and it just basically says everything has been formatted, and it gives instructions how to move the storage from your console storage to the M.2. We're gonna hit OK. All right, now going into the console storage app, we're going to go to M.2, and as you can see, we have Yottamaster 4TB here, and we have free space 4.09 terabytes. I mean, that is phenomenal. Now, all we have to do here is we're gonna go to installation location here, and then you can change all the default installations for future games on your M.2 SSD, for example, and PS4, why not? And then to move a game, all we have to do really is just go to Games and Apps. And let's say I want to move Gran Turismo 7. Now this is a 135.4 gigabyte file here. We're just going to hit select move. And then we're just gonna quickly move this to the drive here. So I'm gonna hit move, I'm gonna hit OK. And we're gonna see how long it takes. Now, as you can see here, in real time, we have about under 40 seconds. I mean, that is really fast. You can see how quickly all the gigabytes are moving. I mean, you're getting phenomenal read and write speed, so that's awesome. And just like that, under 40 seconds, we were able to move a whole game. And right over here, we can see Gran Turismo 7 is now on the drive here. And with that being said, we still have 3.97 terabytes left. I mean, you can fit a lot of games, a huge amount of games. We still get to keep our console storage here. So for the PS5 Slim, we have 848 gigabytes plus the 4 terabytes. I mean, we're at almost 5 terabytes of complete storage. So I'm definitely impressed with that. Alright, so we know we get really good speeds with the PS5 Slim. Now, another thing you could use this SSD for is you could actually use an enclosure. You can use any NVMe SSD enclosure like this one. This is from Yottamaster themselves. And this one's unique in the sense that it has USB 4 connection speeds. Another reason why I like this is because it is toolless, so you just have to push this piece up. That piece comes off. Alright, we're gonna grab our Y7000 Pro. We're gonna put it in an angle. And it comes with this nice black plastic screw here. And that's it. It is nice and loaded. And then we're just gonna put the front piece cover. Alright, and that's it. Now we're gonna connect it and see what kind of speeds we get. Alright, so with Crystal Disk Mark, we're going to benchmark this. And I'm just gonna hit test count. We're gonna do just 2 test counts real quick. And we have the drive letter Y, which is gonna be the Y7000 Pro. And just gonna click all, and we're just going to test the read speeds and the write speeds we get. All right, so after that test here, we're gonna have a nice read speeds of 3037 megabytes per second with a write speed of 2457 megabytes per second. Now, it's important to note that the USB 4 NVMe SSD drive that I have is rated up to 40 gigabits per second. So if we convert 40 gigabits to megabytes, we actually get a 5000 megabyte rate. And just plugging in the 3037 to get an idea what the gigabit read speeds that I'm getting here, it's about 24.29 gigabits per second. Now, of course, you might have an enclosure that only has 10 gigabits per second or a max read speed of 1250 megabytes per second. But overall, I think this SSD is an awesome choice. So for the price of the Y7000 Pro for 4 terabyte, it's definitely competitively priced. Under $300 makes this a great value if you're looking for an NVMe SSD that gives you high capacity. Now, they have other storage size like 2 terabytes, 1 terabyte, and 512. But I do love the 4 terabyte value proposition here. And the fact that they give you a heatsink cover here gives it more versatility to use for your console, your motherboard, in case you don't want to use the heatsink provided there. But overall, I think the Y7000 Pro is a nice option for gamers, content creators who need fast SSD at a reasonable price. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Firewolf out.